Hello, and welcome to Moms with Yarn, episode 3. Woohoo! Woo! We're all the way up to 17 subscribers.
17.
Woo! Yes,
Whoop,
we're
whoop.
in the money. We're in the money.
Wait,
Well,
we get
anyway,
money?
what's that?
We get money for this?
No.
Ah,
So I want to thank new viewers for checking us out and giving us a chance. And
yes.
returning viewers, I want to thank you so much for your feedback and for your comments and for subscribing to our channel.
For your loyalty.
Can you see me doing my happy dance? Woohoo!
This is the only dance I know. It's the shoulder dance. I don't know where I learned it, but it's
You,
called the shoulder
you
dance
go,
and the
girl.
head dance.
That's the snake.
Okay, I'm going to stop
Okay, we're gonna
because at
stop.
some point my kids are going to be watching this when they become like older and they're going to say, "That's my mom."
Don't worry, I've provided plenty of fodder for my son over the years. The only thing I haven't done is talking to my bra in the street. Anyhow, we're gonna jump right into the show. And we're going to start with FOs.
I have a finished object, but I can't show it.
Oh,
Yeah, but that's okay because I have a picture on my Ravelry page. Do you remember the Lin Lin that I was working on last week?
yes.
Finished it.
Yay!
Lucky owner. On Monday. Oh no, Friday. I mailed it off on Friday. So, or actually, my mom mailed it off for me because I had a migraine. But she mailed it off on Friday, and it arrived on Monday. So, yeah, and it came out beautiful, just like the first one. I have to say, I prefer the gray because I made two. This is my second one. I prefer the gray color. I just think because I really like grays. But the one in it was like a teal. The headboard was equally beautiful. Just my personal preference was the gray. So, but it came out so pretty, and it really flew after I got through the ribbing. So, so that's done, and I have no more finished objects.
Well, that was a pretty good thing that you did,
Yeah,
finishing that
it was
and
very
getting it off because that was obligation knitting. So it's not the same thing as knitting because you want to. Like what I
that's
do. I had obligation knitting and now I'm doing what I want. So
yeah.
I have two FOs.
Okay,
You remember these?
I do. The socks that just keep on going.
They don't even fit on my sock blockers. These are, the top of the sock is the pattern by Erica Alexander called the cable rib, and you can see the cables.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to pull this sock off because it's fully shaped, except for this top part.
Now, did you block it on the blocker, or
I
did you
blocked it on the blocker because that was the only way to stretch it out to make sure that it was going to be the
fitting?
right size. But
It's a big, big, big sock.
yeah, I agree. So I made these with Osterman Step, and the colorway is just a number. And I made it with creatively dyed. This is the Osterman Step, and this is the creatively dyed in the ancient colorway in the Sammy base. And I made them on US size 2, 2.75 millimeter needles, sock rockets, and signatures.
Nice.
And that's that. And then I made, well, I used, this is, here, pardon me for going out of frame. I
That's a
did,
pretty shirt.
thank
It's a
you,
nice close-up.
it makes me look like Fatty McWet. I had spun some punta, remember?
Hmm.
And I was looking for something to make with 423 yards. And I found a pattern called the Oakland Shawl by Megan Goodacre. And it's a free pattern on Ravelry. I use US size 5, which is 3.75 millimeter.
That's so pretty. Oh, that's so nice.
I love the way it shows off the colors,
Yeah, that's really pretty.
and I am so happy with this. I might have to make another. Yep, you're looking at the right side.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Who's that for?
Me.
Nice.
I think that if we were ever gonna have like a contest or something, this shawl was so fast, I could whip one up,
Nice.
send it out. I wouldn't mind making it again. You know, I can't stand to block stuff, shawls, because you have to make all these little points,
Yeah.
and you can opt them in or out. But when you make a shawl and it's on the needles and it's top down, you know that the top of the shawl, this end,
Yeah.
is like this.
Yeah.
So how I block it is I use blocking wires and I straighten out the top and then I pull down
Mm-hmm.
and make my seam
Yep.
even,
Yep.
and then I pin the sides.
Yeah.
But I am adoring these colors. And I said, you know, she called this the Fall '05 colorway. And now that it's knit up, it kind of does look like fall
Yeah, it definitely does.
instead of like tequila sunrise
Yeah, we were
or
talking
instead
about
of
that last
spring.
time.
So I'm real happy with it. I'm happy.
That's really
I
pretty.
would make it again.
So do you have the Infinity flexible wires or
I
like
have
what kind of
both.
blocking? Oh, okay. Those are the blocking wires I prefer to use.
The Infinity,
Yeah.
the bendy ones.
Yeah, the ones that roll up into a circle and then you put it
Yes.
in like a Ziploc bag.
Yes.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yes.
Rachel's awesome.
So I have those. Those were actually gifted to me.
Nice.
So, and I have used them, and I use them for crescent shaped shawls,
Mm-hmm.
and I use them for really small pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So they're good.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
good. I mean, they don't straighten out at all. So there would still be a need for for me to have the straight blocking wires.
See, I use that for everything. And
You
I just,
do
what I do is I just use it and then I still use the pins. So I'll use it to kind of
shape,
just, yeah, just to put it through and then I'll
and
still use the pins.
you still would have to use the pins.
Yeah.
There's no way to block without pins, or else the lace would not open up.
Oh, no, sorry. Just so I use the blocking wires just on the top. So in that on that shawl that you just
Yeah.
showed, I only use the blocking wires on the top. I wouldn't use it on the bottom. Would you use on the bottom too or
No,
no?
not on a
Okay.
triangular
Yeah.
shawl. No.
Or even on
The
the crescent, I wouldn't.
the crescent one, if there is a spot to
Like
put the
bend
curve
it.
in, yes,
Okay.
I block the top first always, and then I
Okay.
go for the bottom. And then if I use that curved blocking wire for the crescent shape, I still pin my points.
Yeah. See, I use the pins on the top and the bottom
I
with
use
the
them all over.
infinities. Yeah, I use it everywhere.
Yeah, all the time.
I have like 10,000 pins and I'm like, and then I put a sign on the door, blocking pins, do not enter, all over the wall. Yeah.
Right.
And people still go in.
Of course they do. Well,
Yeah.
my cat dive bombs everything I make, so whoever's allergic to cats would never want to come.
Come
But
like,
this is what's left of my 423 yards, because I don't even think that shawl was 400 yards.
oh, okay. That's
And
re-
if I would have known that I wouldn't have had to play yarn chicken,
Mhm.
I would have made the shawl a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But I'm short, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. And that's it for me with the FOs.
Oh, you were a little stuck there. Okay, now
Yeah.
you're back. Are you
Okay.
back? You're back.
It
You were a
says
little stuck.
internet connection problem.
No, you're back.
Okay.
But you were like this for a second. And I was saying, uh-oh. And then you came back and you were like,
I'm
hi,
back.
I'm back. It's
Yes.
time with Sharon.
Time with Sharon.
All right, do you want to go into your whips since you're
I
hog
only
the
have
carpet
one.
and doing all the talking?
I've been doing all the talking.
Do you need a drink? Do you want me to give you a second?
No, I'm good. I am making a pair of socks called Broken Seed Stitch.
Oh yeah, I saw this. You were doing this for your friend
And I have memorized the pattern, so I didn't print it out, which is wrong
on so many levels.
on so many levels.
Oh,
However,
yes, her now.
I am
Uh-oh, Miss Kitty.
using,
She came up over here.
oh no, she left. Usually she dive bombs me. I'm using Heritage Solid in black,
Hmm.
and I'm using String Theory blue stocking
Hmm.
in the Digidaroo, Digidiridoo. You know the thing that Australian in Australia? Didgeridoo. That's the colorway. It is 100% superwash BFL, which is blue-faced Leicester, and 20% nylon, 420 yards.
I'm just laughing because everybody's going to know that you're so much older than me because you have to pull your glasses up and put it down.
I just want to be cute when I'm looking at my stuff. Doesn't have anything to do with age. Just being cute. And that's the colorway.
I like it.
And I'm using US size 1 needles.
So what is this called? It's a broken.
Broken seed stitch sock. It is a plain vanilla sock using 2 colors. That's the only way I can describe it. And I was in the middle of a row when you called and said, come on down. And I started it and I had to rip the whole thing out because I used 56 stitches and tried it on and it felt like a yarn girdle, like a sock girdle.
And so what makes it broken seed stitch?
Because it is, every other row is the seed stitch, which is 1 knit stitch, 1 purl stitch.
Okay.
And then the solid color is a straight knit.
Okay.
And then the next row is color and you start with a purl stitch.
Okay.
And it makes these really cute little triangles.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
And like I said, it's a plain vanilla sock, but with that little twist.
Yeah.
And the thing I think I like the most is I didn't use a stitch marker to tell me because I'm using my
Yes.
thing here. And there's almost no seam.
Yeah.
It's looking like a seam because it's folded,
Yeah.
but there will be almost no seam after they've been washed and blocked. I hope.
When I use Magic Loop, I don't ever use a stitch marker
Well,
because you use the well, I don't use that. I just use the top of the, when I loop it through, that's the start of my
well,
yeah.
you don't need it with this
Yeah.
because the yarns
Yeah.
switch
Yeah.
on one side,
Yeah.
so I don't really need a stitch marker.
Yeah. Nice. So
That's
that's
it.
your first stock? You didn't, that's your first stock of this
Yeah,
pair.
because I
Okay.
made it all the way past the heel,
Oh, and then you had to redo
and then
it.
I had to rip it out, and I had to go up to 64 stitches.
Yeah, it's the Lin Lin all over again.
Yeah, but I only had half of one sock done.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, this sock pattern is so easy
Yeah.
and so easy to memorize, and I've made them before. So I think that because it's for me like a plain vanilla sock,
Yeah.
I'll probably be finished with these socks by the weekend.
Well, that's good.
So next time we podcast, you'll probably only get to see a picture.
Yeah, like me. All right, so that's it for you?
Yep, I'm done.
Okay. So, as I mentioned, I finished the Lin Lin, so I was able to start back up on my Little Oak, which is the cardigan by Alana Dakos. So this is what it looks like. And I was this much through the first sleeve. I was this much. So I was able to get through the whole sleeve, one
Wow.
whole sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
And I need actually needle to start my second sleeve. So um, I didn't start that yet. So I'll start that probably this evening.
Mm-hmm.
This will be my home knitting just because the bag's pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm knitting these on size US 2 and 3s.
Mm-hmm.
They have you switch between them throughout the whole. I think the sleeve is knit on 2s, the body is knit on 3s. I don't know. It's a paid for pattern, so I don't really want to give too much away. But I really like the yarn. It's the Barocco Vintage DK.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it looks like. It's really, really pretty. And like I said, the sleeve one's done. These are just markers to, because I have a small needle gauge. Um, so this just marked 4 inches, 4 inches, and then another one. They
Mm-hmm.
had it needed to measure to 9.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll finish the other one, and then it has me attach it to the body, and then it'll start the yoke, and that will fly because then it'll be done. Then I just need to do the ribbing. I'll be done. So that's that. And then the last thing that I'm working on is the second sock, my vanilla sock. Um, and if you remember last time, I was here on the heel, and I just started this up yesterday again on the train. So I was able to finish up the heel, turn, and now I'll be working on the foot. So these should be, again, finished up by the weekend, I would think. So that's really it. So
Okay.
these are done in dreidel. This is the Blue Moon Fiber Arts, done on a size 1.5. I was noticing yesterday, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see, but this is the join. Let me try and hold this up. I really, really liked these needles. This is the join. I don't know if you can see that. This is the join on one of the needles. And then this is the join on the second needle. It has like a little ridge here.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps getting caught when I'm trying to push it through. I'm not really happy about it.
What needles are those?
These are the collage square. I might actually write to them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's showing backwards,
No, it's fine.
but I might write to them and just tell them, because it's to me it's slowing me down because it's getting caught and I don't know.
That's what happened to me with the carbons.
Yeah.
I used them and the tips were not attached to the barrel very well. And so they ended up being a cable needle
Yeah.
because I can't stand struggling. When you've used good needles to do your knitting with, and then you bump into a needle that has an issue, um, I mean, I can't send it back. And so they became cable needles.
Well, I mean, part of me is like I think they were like $9 or $10, and I feel like $9 or $10 is a lot of money to spend on needles. Period.
Especially if you don't like them.
Especially if I don't like them. And for $9 or $10, I mean, I could have spent $9 or $10 on needles that I loved. I mean, I love my red lace chiaguas, but I felt like I wanted to try a new pair. Just maybe I love something different. And it bothers me that I spent $9 or $10 on a pair of needles that are giving me problems. And they're not old. I mean, this is probably the second pair of socks, so maybe the fourth project that I'm doing. And I just, you know, I'm going to see what they say. If they say, sorry, nothing we can do about it, you're SOL, then Chiago it is. But if they do right by me, then, I mean, again, I really like the needles. They are, they do keep consistent stitches and my mom really, really likes the socks that I've knit with them. So, we're going to see. So I'll report back. I'll let you know. But
Okay.
this is the first one that I've had an issue with, so we'll see.
Is it because they're um, circular needles? I mean, you don't have any problem with the straights?
I don't use straights and I don't use double points ever.
Um,
I only use circulars
mm-hmm.
ever.
Well, I guess if they can make restitution, do they sell a needle that you could use?
I would probably like I haven't done double points in a long time. When I tried double points, I was a very new like sock knitter. So I was very novice in, you know, being confident that if I dropped a stitch, how would I fix it? I mean, now I can drop stitches, 10 rows down and pick them up and be confident, which is a purl, which is a knit, I can easily identify it. So I would try it again, I think.
You would
So
what?
I would try it again. I
Mm-hmm.
would try the points again, but I
You're
prefer circulars.
okay. You faded out there.
Sorry, I would do double points again,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
experience, but I prefer circulars.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see
The deal is that you need to use tools that work
for me.
for you,
I know,
and
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, and if you can get the right tools. I mean, I don't mind trying new things because I hear podcasters talking about, oh, I did this and I did that and I love these needles and blah, 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 blah. And because they like them doesn't mean that it'll work for you.
Yeah,
So I figured I would give, because they were having a sale on the carbons when I got them. And I figured I would try them, but when I got them, I'm so glad I didn't buy the set.
yeah,
The last time I was upset with needles was when I bought the Addy lace. I was so disappointed with the point.
yeah.
With the points, they weren't very good. And the join
Mhm.
was a pain in the neck. And I'm not going to say it was a waste of money because I can really use the cable. So if I ever have to put pieces on hold or something, I just stick a point on the cable size that I need and then I just keep it moving. But I don't want to spend that kind of money or make that kind of investment. And some people absolutely love them. They love the points, they love the cables, they love the everything. And I just didn't go there. And I decided that I was never going to spend that kind of money on a set without trying a few sizes. And I use double points a lot.
Yeah.
But my favorite double points are, believe it or not, the Susan Bates. She has some Teflon coated size 1 needles, which I purchased from knittingwarehouse.com. It's knitting-warehouse.com, where they sell everything for, low prices. So reasonable. And I bend all of my needles up, so I'm always going back for replacements. That doesn't mean I throw my old needles away.
Especially size ones. I mean, they're so small. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I go through my needle inventory and I don't know what happened. One of my points, it was totally like this.
Yeah.
I was like, well, where was that needle?
Yeah.
And so then I go to knittingwarehouse.com and I buy 3 more sets. And then I can have change the good needles and throw out the bad needles and still have a set of needles.
Yep.
So it works.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have nothing else.
I have nothing else either. I think I don't have anything either in queue. I'm gonna finish these up. I think this will probably take me, I mean, definitely the sweater, I think I'll probably be almost finished with, if not just finished by the time we podcast again. Because it's going to be fiddly. I'm going to have to do the button band. I'll have to sew on the buttons. I'm not so great at picking buttons and then putting the buttons on. But
You haven't picked your buttons yet? I always have button drama.
yeah, no, I remember from when we worked together, you were going.
Always button drama.
So, but I have a local five and dime by me that sells buttons. So I'll just bring the yarn while my kids are at karate, pop over there, check some out, buy extra buttons, and then forget that I have the extra buttons and keep going back for more. So,
Do you ever just pick up buttons just to have? Do you have a button jar?
oh yeah, yeah, don't ask me where it is or where the extra buttons are because I'm sure I have buttons for these.
Mm-hmm.
because I've made this sweater before, and I've made similar colors and sweaters that I'm like, oh, I should just pick up extra. But
Well, I always know where my button jar is because,
it's not really a jar; it's a tin.
and it's full of buttons. Good buttons and cheap buttons. These are the cheap buttons in a plastic bag. But I have good buttons too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's the brands that my Five and Dime.
Yeah. My five and dime has a terrible selection, and a lot of them are plastic.
Oh no, ours is actually that's the brand that we sell.
Mm-hmm.
And the line, I see there's a line.
Yeah, well, my tin is
Oh, those are nice.
and I have craft buttons, and there's another jar, can tin. I even have a big button, but it's upstairs. But since I made this into my craft room and I put everything down here, it's so much better because,
Everything's here.
yeah, I don't have to break it up between, well, there's knitting in every room in this house. Knitting or spinning everywhere in this house. So storage is always an issue. Now that I have the room, all of my presentable stuff is in this room. The rest of it is in bags hidden away. So,
So what are you gonna do next after you're done with the socks? You
you
know?
know, I was looking on Ravelry. I still have to make, I think this is sock number 22. I still have to make 4 more pairs of socks. And I did pick out another pair of socks I want to make, and I didn't bring the yarn downstairs or else I would have shown you. So I still have to find a couple of patterns to finish up. And then I was looking through and trying to figure out if there was something I wanted to make with my hand spun, or maybe I just need to go ahead and spin some. But I remember showing some hand spun that I did. It was red, white, and blue, but I can't find it.
Check your
So,
room.
so you want to talk about me being older? If it's not nailed to the ceiling, when I say I put it up, it means it's lost. Because there's not a whole lot of places it could be, but it only needed to be in one place, and that's lost. And that's exactly where it is. And when I find it, I'm going to make something with it because I hope I get pretty good yardage on that. I was looking at the Zuzu's Petals
Oh, okay.
pattern,
Yeah.
but I think that yarn is going to be variegated, so I don't think it's going to work.
Okay.
She used a gradient on hers, and the only gradient yarn I have is sock weight.
Weren't you gonna make those Mystic socks? Or wasn't there a pair of socks that Knitables was doing that you said
Yes,
to
but
the socks? You were gonna do the
by
new,
Josh Ricks.
yeah, and then you were also gonna do the.
I'm not going to do his socks because I heard Megan talking about the socks and the short rows being right where the heel is, and so it made for an uncomfortable fit.
Okay.
And then I heard other people talking about changing where the short rows are so that they wouldn't have a problem with it. So I don't know if I want to invest that kind of time when I still only have 4 pairs of socks to go.
Wait, so that's not the Skype sock. That's the
No.
Mystic sock. Okay.
Those socks are called,
I thought they're Mystic or
they might be the Mystic Stripe socks.
okay.
I don't know. But it's Josh, excuse me, it's Josh Ricks,
Okay.
Sword, Sword, sort of a
Okay.
knitter.
Okay.
The pattern is there, and Diane from Knittables has
Yeah.
probably made 50 pair by now.
Yeah. Yeah. So you might want to just read. Maybe we can just ask her because she loves them.
I know, but Diane has, her feet are this big.
Oh, they're tiny. Okay. You have not tiny feet?
No, we're a size 8.
Um,
I got platypus feet. So I just
tiny?
make my socks, and how long the heel flap
Okay.
is what determines how well my sock fits.
Got it.
And so when you build in a heel, I feel obligated to put the heel there.
Got it.
until I figure out if it fits or if it doesn't fit, and then I have to make adjustments. And ripping back, while not really a problem, because I'd rather rip back than to get it wrong,
Got it.
I don't want to have to make that kind of investment. Next year, there's a group on Ravelry, and I can't think of the name of it, but they have a contest where you make 12 pairs of socks a year. Like taking this 26 pair plunge was total insanity on my part
Yeah.
because I don't generally have 26 pairs of socks that I really want to make.
Yeah.
So I won't be doing that next year,
Okay.
especially
Good.
if I make it to 26, because they're saying that the next time you join in, they want you to do 26 or 52 or 20% more than you did the year before.
Yeah.
I like making socks because I like making socks, not because I have to, so. And I can stop anytime, so the cops aren't going to come to my house.
At least for that.
Yes,
Right?
let me be perfectly clear.
They may be coming for something else, but not that.
Right. So what is your next thing?
I don't know yet. I mean, I got to get these socks off and the short and the cardigan. I don't know. I'm spending more time on Ravelry. So now that I have the obligation knitting off. So I'll see. I mean, I kind of want to just browse. I don't know.
Well, my mother
Summer.
asked for a lightweight sweater to wear over her short sleeve summer tops. So I
Yeah.
was on Ravelry. But can you really go on Ravelry and not spend an hour looking for patterns?
Yeah, I can because I don't really have a whole lot of time.
I don't either, but when I get on there, it's so hard to get off.
Yeah.
So that's hard for me. But anyhow, we're chitter-chattering.
All
And
right,
and
Sharon.
and I have nothing else. So I
I
just,
have
yeah,
nothing else
I
either.
want thank everybody for watching and tuning in.
Yeah, and those
Thank you
17
so much.
subscribers. Thank you so much.
17. Thank you.
Feedback, feedback. Thank you for the feedback.
Thank you for the feedback. That was from Cheryl. And the new subscribers, I got a note from, a few people, and they were like, they thought the show was pretty good, but they didn't say what we should expand upon. So, if
Or do
anybody,
less of.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So if you want
So,
more,
right,
less of something, let us know.
right. And if you're working on something you think we should be working on, you should give us some insight. I got a skein of sock yarn to go. So thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next time, 2
Yep.
weeks.
All right, guys. Have a great week.
Bye.